Hey guys, Dan from Alliance Contracting and Design. Is your 2007 through 2016 Jeep Wrangler making a clicking noise when you put it in four-wheel drive? There's a good chance it's the front drive shaft where it goes into the transfer case. There's a CV joint there. There's actually 3 of them on the vehicle. One from the front of the transfer case, one from the rear of the transfer case, and one going into the rear differential. I already started taking it apart, but you have to pull the drive shaft to get this whole assembly out, and then you can work on it right on the workbench. On the back you have 5/16 bolts. Then on the front U-joint you have 4 15mm bolts holding that in. You're going to want to go to your local auto parts store and get a Dorman repair kit. It's 932-306, and it comes with all the parts and pieces to rebuild that CV joint. Includes new bolts, gaskets. From what I've been reading, the most important thing is to use this entire pouch of grease inside the new joint and make sure the gaskets are seated properly so you don't get any dirt in there or grease coming out, because that could ruin the joint. So typically what happens is when you have a lift kit on your Jeep, or it's more than a stock suspension height, it puts an extreme angle on this joint, and then the boot rubs on the edge of it right here and gets a tear in it. Then it flings all the grease away, and then you get water and contaminants in that joint, causing it to fail prematurely. This particular Jeep has a 2-inch lift on it, so it's not too bad. Chances are this is the original one. And the tools we're going to need for this project is a ball peen hammer, a 1-inch socket, a chisel, a flat-bladed screwdriver, snap ring pliers, side cutters, a 15mm box end wrench, and a 5/16 1/4-inch drive ratchet. With the vehicle in park and the engine off, safely lift it up and get underneath the vehicle, and then use a 15mm box end wrench to loosen these 4 bolts holding the front of the drive shaft to the front differential. They're going to be in there tight, so you're going to have to put some muscle into it. If you're having difficulty removing these bolts, I suggest spraying them with some WD-40 or other penetrating lubricant and let them sit, and then try again in about 15-20 minutes. Now with the front of the drive shaft disconnected from the front differential and just kind of hanging there, we're going to work on removing these 5/16 bolts holding the CV joint to the transfer case. Rotate the drive shaft. I'm going to put the transfer case in neutral, pull back, over, back 1 click. Now it's in neutral. Now with the transfer case in neutral, you can freely rotate the shaft, exposing all of the bolts. You have to take your chisel, put it right in there, and hit it with your hammer lightly and rotate the shaft to gently work that flange out of the coupler on the transfer case. With a little help from the chisel and hammer, that CV joint pops right out of the transfer case. If there's marks on it, that's a good indication that this was out before. But this one doesn't have any marks, so I believe this is original. Now that I got the drive shaft out and secured in the vise, you're going to take the chisel and the hammer and get it right in here to pop this end cap off. Remember to rotate the shaft as you do it so you're not hitting on the same spot. Now with that end cap off, you can see the snap ring that we have to take off to get the joint off of the shaft. I recommend a set of snap ring pliers. Just get in there and walk that right off like that. Depending how old, how rusty, how many miles, you may have to use a little bit of force to get the CV joint off of the drive shaft. But this one just pulls right off. Now you have to get the cinch clamp off on the end of the old boot. Use a flat-bladed screwdriver and get under the tab just like this and wiggle it loose. Once you get it loose, take the rest of the old boot and the clamp right off. Clean up the splines on the end of the drive shaft with a rag. I always like to do a quick visual inspection to make sure there's no unnecessary or odd looking wear. Next thing we're going to do is slide the boot on. Then we're going to use the stainless steel band they provided to seal the boot to the shaft. I used a set of side cutters and grabbed the tab and just pulled it tight like that. You want to fold it back over itself. And then once you get it down in there, you have these 2 tabs to fold over and lock it in place. Once you get that through there, use the hammer to pound those tabs down. And then use the side cutters to cut off the excess. This is important. Pay attention. There's a piece of the old boot, so we know this end went towards the drive shaft. I went ahead and opened the pouch of grease and put a heavy bead on there. Now using the palm of my hand, I'm going to push down and force that grease around those balls in there. There's no such thing as too much. And like I said earlier, you want to use that whole pouch in this CV joint. Place one of the supplied gaskets into the CV joint, but being careful to line up the notches in the gasket with the bolt holes. There's a gasket for each side. I'm using this 1-inch impact socket to go over the drive shaft stub and get the CV joint seated all the way while applying even pressure all the way around the CV joint so it goes on straight. Here's the new bearing on compared to the old bearing. Got the new snap ring back on there. Then the gaskets are applied on each side of the new bearing here, lining up the bolt holes with the notches in the gasket. Putting the dust shield back on, lining it up with the bolt holes, and this is ready to go back in. If you're struggling to line up the bolt holes, get a big pair of channel locks and gently grip the back of the boot cover here and rotate it until you can stick a bolt all the way through. Even though it came with the new Allen head bolts, I opted to use the factory bolts with the new thrust plates. I just figured Allen head would be hard to get tight and loose if I ever have to take it out again, so I prefer to keep the 5/16 factory bolts in there. And then with the drive shaft disconnected, I can rotate it as needed to tighten the bolts equally and then torque them down. Now that all the bolts are in and tight, it's time to reattach the drive shaft to the front differential. Pay attention to the marks on the flange, put it back on the same way. Now with everything bolted up, give the tire a spin, listen for any noises or feel for any binds. Everything's spinning nice and freely, so I'd say we're done. Thanks for watching, and please remember to hit that subscribe button.